When the first alien ship appeared in Earth's orbit, humanity's collective gaze turned skyward with a mixture of awe and trepidation. For centuries, we had dreamed of encountering beings from other worlds, imagining peaceful exchanges and opportunities for understanding. Yet, as the sleek vessel hung ominously in the vast expanse of space, broadcasting its message across the airwaves, any illusions of harmonious coexistence were shattered. The alien transmission, translated by our most advanced linguistic algorithms, carried a chilling ultimatum: surrender or face annihilation. It was a declaration of dominance, a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of a technologically superior force. But for humanity, surrender was not an option. From the depths of our collective history, from the struggles and triumphs that defined us, arose a resolute determination to resist. Governments convened emergency meetings, leaders grappling with the enormity of the situation. The United Nations, usually a forum for diplomatic discourse, became a battleground of ideas as representatives from every corner of the globe debated the best course of action. Voices rang out, some advocating for negotiation, others for preemptive strikes. Yet, in the end, there was a consensus born not of politics, but of survival. Humanity would stand united against this extraterrestrial threat. As news of the alien arrival spread across the world, the streets thrummed with a palpable sense of urgency. Citizens gathered in town squares, eyes fixed on screens broadcasting updates from around the globe. Families huddled together, seeking solace in each other's presence as uncertainty loomed overhead. In the face of adversity, humanity found strength in solidarity, drawing courage from the knowledge that we were not alone in this struggle. In the halls of scientific institutions, researchers raced against time to decipher the secrets of alien technology. Laboratories buzzed with activity as physicists and engineers pored over data streams, seeking patterns and anomalies that might offer a glimpse into the enemy's weaknesses. Every discovery, no matter how small, brought humanity one step closer to leveling the playing field in this interstellar conflict. Meanwhile, military forces around the world were mobilized with unprecedented speed and efficiency. Soldiers trained tirelessly, drilling for scenarios that once existed only in the realm of science fiction. Armies stood ready to defend their homelands, their resolve steeled by the knowledge that they were the last line of defense against an existential threat. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, there were those who dared to hope. Visionaries and dreamers saw the alien invasion not as a harbinger of doom, but as an opportunity for humanity to rise to new heights. They envisioned a future where our differences were set aside, where nations worked together for the betterment of all mankind. It was a dream born of adversity, fueled by the belief that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit would prevail. As the alien vessel loomed ever closer, casting its shadow over the world, humanity stood on the brink of a new era. We were no longer bound by the confines of our planet, but united in our defiance against a common foe. The stage was set for a conflict unlike any other, a battle for the very survival of our species. And though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty, one thing was certain: humanity would fight back. Mobilization. As the alien threat loomed ever larger, the world found itself at a crossroads. Nations that had once been divided by ideology and geopolitical rivalries now faced a common enemy. In the face of this existential threat, old grievances were set aside, and a new era of cooperation dawned. In the hallowed halls of power, leaders grappled with the enormity of the situation. Emergency summits convened, with heads of state and diplomats from every corner of the globe coming together to chart a course forward. Forged in the crucible of crisis, alliances were forged and treaties signed, binding nations together in a shared struggle for survival. Across continents and oceans, the machinery of war stirred to life. Military bases buzzed with activity as troops were mobilized and equipment readied for deployment. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen stood at the ready, their resolve unshakable in the face of the looming threat. From the front lines to the home front, the call to arms was heard, and every able-bodied man and woman answered. But it was not just the might of the military that was brought to bear against the alien invaders. In laboratories and research facilities around the world, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of alien technology. Every captured ship, every piece of alien hardware was dissected and analyzed in the hopes of finding weaknesses to exploit and advantages to gain. It was a race against time, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. Yet, even as the alien armada drew ever closer, there were those who dared to hope. In the corridors of academia, scholars and theorists delved into the annals of history and the depths of human imagination, searching for clues and insights that might turn the tide of war. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the world watched with bated breath as the conflict escalated. Battles raged in the skies above and on the ground below, with humanity fighting tooth and nail for every inch of territory. The casualties mounted, and the toll of war weighed heavily on the hearts and minds of all who bore witness. Yet, amidst the chaos and carnage, there were moments of courage and camaraderie that served as beacons of hope in the darkness. Soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder, facing down the alien onslaught with unwavering resolve. Civilians rallied behind them, offering support and solidarity in whatever form they could. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a spirit that refused to be broken even in the face of overwhelming odds. And so, as the world mobilized for war, a new sense of purpose and determination swept across the globe. From the halls of power to the trenches of the battlefield, humanity stood united in its defiance against the alien invaders. For though the road ahead would be long and fraught with peril, one thing was certain: humanity would not go down without a fight. Resistance. As the alien forces made landfall and the first shots of the war were exchanged, humanity faced a daunting reality. Our enemy was formidable, their technology far superior to our own. But in the face of overwhelming odds, a new kind of warfare emerged, one of stealth, cunning, and unyielding determination. From the bustling metropolises to the remote wilderness, pockets of resistance sprang up like wildfires, fueled by the indomitable spirit of those unwilling to bow to alien tyranny. These were not conventional armies, but ragtag bands of fighters who had sworn to defend their homes and loved ones at any cost. In the sprawling urban jungles, guerrilla fighters moved with the fluidity of shadows, striking swiftly and silently before melting back into the fabric of the city. Alleyways became battlegrounds, and rooftops served as sniper nests as these brave souls waged a war of attrition against the occupying forces. Every skirmish, every ambush, was a testament to humanity's refusal to surrender without a fight. But it was not just in the cities that the resistance took root. In the vast expanses of wilderness that still remained untouched by the alien advance, freedom fighters banded together to wage a guerrilla war of their own. Armed with little more than their wits and their determination, they launched hit-and-run attacks on enemy supply lines and communication networks, disrupting the invaders' ability to wage war on multiple fronts. Every victory, no matter how small, served to inspire hope in the hearts of those who fought on. Each alien patrol decimated, each supply convoy destroyed, was a blow against the oppressors and a step closer to freedom. And though the cost of resistance was high, with every fallen comrade a stark reminder of the stakes of the war, the flames of defiance burned brighter with each passing day. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the resistance was its ability to adapt and evolve in the face of adversity. As the alien invaders brought new weapons and tactics to bear, humanity responded in kind, devising ingenious methods to level the playing field. Improvised explosive devices were planted along enemy patrol routes. Ambushes were meticulously planned and executed, and enemy communications were intercepted and disrupted. Yet, for all their technological superiority, the aliens underestimated the resourcefulness and resilience of their human adversaries. Where they expected submission, they found defiance. Where they sought conquest, they encountered resistance. And as the war dragged on, it became increasingly clear that humanity would not go down without a fight. In the hearts of every man, woman, and child who dared to stand against the alien invaders, there burned a flame of defiance that could not be extinguished. It was a flame born of the belief that no matter the odds, no matter the cost, freedom was worth fighting for. And though the road ahead would be long and treacherous, one thing was certain: humanity would never surrender. For as long as there were those willing to resist, the flames of hope would continue to burn bright in the darkness, guiding the way forward toward a future free from tyranny. Adaptation. In the crucible of war, humanity's ingenuity was put to the ultimate test. Faced with an enemy possessing vastly superior technology, we were forced to adapt or face certain defeat. And adapt we did, drawing upon our collective creativity and resourcefulness to turn the tide of battle in our favor. From the laboratories of research institutions to the makeshift workshops of underground resistance cells, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to develop new weapons and technologies capable of matching the might of the alien invaders. Breakthroughs came at a rapid pace as theoretical concepts were transformed into practical innovations born of necessity. One such innovation was the development of advanced energy weapons, capable of penetrating the aliens' advanced shielding technology. These weapons, reverse-engineered from salvaged alien technology and powered by newly discovered energy sources, proved to be a game-changer on the battlefield. Suddenly, humanity possessed the means to stand toe-to-toe with the invaders, striking fear into the hearts of our enemies with every volley of energy fire. But it wasn't just in the realm of weaponry that humanity adapted. Our tactics evolved as well, as military strategists devised new ways to exploit the weaknesses of the alien forces. Hit-and-run attacks gave way to coordinated offensives, with ground troops supported by aerial drones and orbital strikes. Guerrilla warfare tactics were refined and expanded, with resistance fighters striking at the heart of the alien occupation with surgical precision. Yet perhaps the greatest weapon in humanity's arsenal was our ability to adapt and improvise in the face of adversity. When faced with overwhelming odds, we refused to back down, instead finding innovative solutions to seemingly insurmountable challenges. Improvised explosive devices made from scavenged materials wreaked havoc on enemy convoys, while hacked enemy drones turned against their former masters with devastating effect. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of humanity's adaptation was our ability to harness the power of unity in the face of adversity. As the war raged on, nations set aside old rivalries and animosities, coming together in a spirit of cooperation and solidarity. Intelligence was shared, resources pooled, and joint operations launched as the world stood united against a common enemy. And as humanity adapted and evolved, so too did the alien invaders find themselves faced with an opponent unlike any they had encountered before. Where once they had dismissed us as inferior, they now found themselves locked in a battle of attrition against a foe that refused to be defeated. The tide of war began to turn, as humanity's relentless determination and unwavering resolve wore down the alien forces, inch by hard-won inch. In the end, it was humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and come together in the face of overwhelming adversity that proved to be our greatest strength. Though the road ahead would be long and fraught with danger, one thing was certain: we would not be easily defeated. For as long as there were those willing to fight, humanity would continue to adapt, evolve, and ultimately emerge victorious against any foe that dared to threaten our freedom and our future. Sacrifice. As the war against the alien invaders raged on, the cost of humanity's defiance became painfully clear. Every battle, every skirmish, exacted a toll measured not only in lives lost, but in the shattered hopes and dreams of those left behind. Yet, amidst the devastation and despair, there emerged a profound sense of unity and purpose, a recognition that the sacrifices made in the name of freedom would not be in vain. On the front lines, soldiers fought with unwavering courage and determination, risking everything to defend their homes and loved ones from the alien onslaught. They charged into battle with hearts filled with resolve, knowing that the price of failure was too great to bear. Some never returned, their names lost to history, but their sacrifice forever etched into the fabric of humanity's collective memory. But it was not just the soldiers who bore the brunt of the war's toll. Civilians, too, found themselves thrust into the crucible of conflict, their lives forever altered by the horrors of war. Families mourned the loss of loved ones, children grew up without parents, and communities were torn apart by the relentless march of destruction. Yet, even in the face of such overwhelming loss, the spirit of resilience burned bright, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. As the war dragged on, stories of heroism and selflessness began to emerge from the chaos of battle. Soldiers who threw themselves onto live grenades to save their comrades. Medics who risked their lives to tend to the wounded under fire. Civilians who opened their homes to strangers, offering shelter and solace in a world consumed by violence. These were the true heroes of the war, their acts of bravery and sacrifice serving as a reminder of the best of humanity in the darkest of times. But perhaps the most profound sacrifices were those made by individuals who gave their lives, not for glory or recognition, but for the greater good of all. Scientists who worked tirelessly in laboratories to develop new weapons and technologies, knowing that their discoveries would be used to turn the tide of battle. Leaders who made impossible decisions, knowing that the weight of the world rested on their shoulders. And ordinary people who stood up and fought back against tyranny, knowing that the cost of freedom was steep, but believing that it was worth paying. With each sacrifice, humanity grew stronger, more resilient, more determined to see the war through to its bitter end. Heroes emerged, their names whispered in reverence by those who owed them their lives. Monuments were erected, memorials built, and ceremonies held to honor the fallen and ensure that their sacrifice would never be forgotten. But perhaps the greatest tribute to those who gave their lives in the name of freedom was the steadfast resolve of those who remained. For as long as there were those willing to fight, willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of a better future, humanity would continue to endure, to overcome, and to rise from the ashes of war, stronger than ever before. And so, as the war against the alien invaders raged on, the sacrifices made by those who came before served as a guiding light in the darkness, a reminder that no matter the cost, freedom was worth fighting for. For as long as there were those willing to lay down their lives in defense of humanity, there would always be hope for a brighter tomorrow. Alliance. As the war against the alien invaders raged on, humanity found itself facing an enemy of unprecedented strength and cunning. Despite our best efforts and the countless sacrifices made by brave men and women, victory seemed increasingly uncertain. It was in this darkest hour that humanity turned its gaze skyward, seeking allies among the stars in our fight against the common threat. In the furthest reaches of the galaxy, our signals of distress were heard by civilizations whose existence we had only dared to dream of. These alien races, each with their own histories, cultures, and technologies, recognized the danger posed by the encroaching darkness and answered our call for aid. It was a moment of hope amidst the despair, as the bonds of solidarity and cooperation were forged across the vast expanse of space. Together, humanity and our newfound allies stood united against the tide of oppression, determined to turn the tide of war in our favor. Though our differences were many, we shared a common enemy and a common purpose: to defend our homes, our loved ones, and the very future of our species from annihilation. The alliance that formed in the crucible of war was as diverse as it was unexpected. From the enigmatic beings of the Xanath cluster to the proud warriors of the Drakarian Empire, each race brought its own unique strengths and abilities to the fight against the alien invaders. It was a coalition born of necessity, but one that would prove to be humanity's greatest asset in the struggle for survival. Yet, forging an alliance with alien races was not without its challenges. Misunderstandings and mistrust threatened to unravel the fragile bonds that held us together, as centuries-old animosities and cultural differences threatened to tear us apart. But through diplomacy, patience, and understanding, humanity and our allies learned to set aside our differences and focus on the task at hand: defeating the common enemy that threatened us all. Together, we launched joint operations against the alien forces, coordinating our efforts and pooling our resources to mount a unified defense of our homelands. From the trenches of the battlefield to the command centers of our warships, humans fought side by side with our alien allies, drawing strength from each other's courage and determination. But perhaps the most profound aspect of the alliance was the exchange of knowledge and technology that took place between our civilizations. As humans marveled at the advanced technologies of our alien allies, we shared our own innovations and discoveries, enriching each other's understanding of the universe and expanding the boundaries of what was possible. In the end, it was the alliance that proved to be humanity's greatest weapon against the alien invaders. United in purpose and unwavering in resolve, we stood as a beacon of hope in the darkness, a testament to the power of cooperation and solidarity in the face of overwhelming odds. And though the war would leave scars that would never fully heal, the bonds forged between humanity and our alien allies would endure for generations to come. For in the crucible of war, we had found not only allies, but friends, and together we had proven that even in the darkest of times, there was always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Retaliation. As humanity's resistance grew stronger, and our alliance with alien races bolstered our ranks, the alien invaders found themselves facing a formidable opponent unlike any they had encountered before. Frustrated by our resilience and emboldened by their desperation, they unleashed their most devastating weapons in a bid to crush our spirit and quash our defiance. From the depths of space, the alien armada descended upon Earth like a storm unleashed, raining destruction upon our cities and laying waste to our lands. Orbital bombardments reduced once thriving metropolises to smoldering ruins, while devastating energy weapons scorched the earth and poisoned the skies. It was a relentless onslaught, a barrage of destruction that tested the resolve of humanity and our allies to its breaking point. But even in the face of such overwhelming firepower, we refused to cower in fear. Instead, we fought back with everything we had, determined to reclaim our planet from the clutches of the alien invaders. From the ashes of our cities, new lines of defense were drawn, as soldiers and civilians alike banded together to repel the alien onslaught. On the front lines, humanity's warriors stood firm against the alien onslaught, their determination unyielding in the face of impossible odds. They fought with courage and conviction, rallying around the banner of freedom and justice as they pushed back against the tide of oppression. Every victory, no matter how small, was a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit and our refusal to surrender to despair. But it was not just on the battlefield that humanity's defiance was felt. Across the globe, ordinary people rose up against the alien occupiers, launching acts of resistance and sabotage that struck fear into the hearts of our enemies. Underground networks sprang up in occupied territories, smuggling supplies and information past enemy lines, and offering refuge to those fleeing the alien advance. As the war raged on, the alien invaders found themselves facing a determined and resourceful foe unlike any they had encountered before. For every advance they made, we met them with stubborn resistance and unwavering resolve. And though the cost of war was high, with every city reduced to rubble and every life lost a tragic reminder of the stakes of the conflict, humanity refused to back down. In the end, it was our refusal to surrender that proved to be our greatest weapon against the alien invaders. Faced with an enemy that refused to be broken, the aliens found themselves facing a stalemate, their once unstoppable advance ground to a halt by the combined might of humanity and our allies. And though the war would leave scars that would never fully heal, it would also leave behind a legacy of courage, determination, and resilience that would endure for generations to come. As humanity stood on the brink of victory, we knew that the road ahead would not be easy. The alien invaders would not go quietly into the night, and the cost of reclaiming our planet would be high. But with every step forward, with every victory won, we knew that we were one step closer to achieving our ultimate goal, a future free from the shadow of alien tyranny, where humanity could once again stand proud as masters of our own destiny. liberation. As the war against the alien invaders raged on, humanity found itself locked in a struggle for survival, unlike any other. But amidst the devastation and despair, there emerged a glimmer of hope, a light shining in the darkness that promised a future free from the yoke of alien tyranny. Slowly but surely, humanity began to gain ground against the invaders. Cities once lost to the alien onslaught were liberated, their people emerging from hiding to cheer as the tide of battle turned in our favor. It was a moment of triumph, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness, as the tide of war began to turn in humanity's favor. But the path to victory was not an easy one, and the hardest battles still lay ahead. For every city liberated, there were countless more still under alien occupation, their people suffering under the oppressive yoke of alien rule. It was a sobering reminder of the stakes of the conflict and of the sacrifices that would be required to reclaim our planet from the invaders. Yet, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, humanity refused to back down. Instead, we pressed forward with renewed determination and resolve, knowing that the future of our species hung in the balance. From the front lines to the halls of power, every man, woman, and child played their part in the struggle for liberation, united in our common purpose to rid our world of the alien scourge once and for all. As the war raged on, humanity's warriors fought with unparalleled bravery and skill, pushing back against the alien forces with every ounce of strength and determination they possessed. From the trenches of the battlefield to the skies above, our soldiers and pilots waged a relentless campaign against the invaders, driving them back with a ferocity born of desperation and defiance. But it was not just on the battlefield that humanity's triumphs were felt. In occupied territories, resistance movements sprang up, launching acts of sabotage and subterfuge that struck fear into the hearts of the alien occupiers. Underground networks smuggled supplies and information past enemy lines, offering hope to those trapped behind enemy lines and striking a blow against the alien regime. And as the liberation of Earth's cities continued, the alien invaders found themselves facing a foe unlike any they had encountered before. Where once they had enjoyed uncontested dominance, they now found themselves locked in a struggle for survival against a determined and resourceful adversary. And though the cost of war was high, with every victory won, humanity drew one step closer to reclaiming our planet from the invaders. But perhaps the greatest triumph of all was the spirit of resilience and defiance that burned bright in the hearts of every man, woman, and child who dared to stand against the alien invaders. It was a spirit born of the belief that no matter the odds, no matter the cost, humanity would never surrender to the forces of oppression. And as the war drew to a close and victory seemed within reach, it was this spirit that would ultimately carry us through to the dawn of a new era, a future free from the shadow of alien tyranny, where humanity could once again stand proud as masters of our own destiny. Betrayal. In the crucible of war, amidst the chaos and carnage of battle, betrayal lurked in the shadows like a venomous serpent, striking at the very heart of humanity's struggle for survival. As the alien invaders pressed their advantage and the stakes of the conflict grew ever higher, some among us succumbed to the allure of power and greed, forsaking their own kind in pursuit of personal gain. Amidst the ruins of once great cities and the smoldering wreckage of battlefields, whispers of treachery spread like wildfire, casting doubt and suspicion upon friend and foe alike. In the darkest corners of society, opportunists and profiteers emerged, seeking to capitalize on the suffering of others for their own selfish ends. They traded in secrets and alliances, selling out their own kind to the highest bidder in a desperate bid to secure their own survival. But even as the tendrils of betrayal spread, humanity's spirit remained unbroken. For every traitor who sought to profit from the conflict, there were countless more who stood firm in their commitment to the cause of freedom and justice. From the front lines to the halls of power, ordinary people and leaders alike refused to be swayed by the temptations of treachery, choosing instead to stand united against the alien invaders. Yet the scars of betrayal ran deep, casting a shadow of doubt and mistrust over the ranks of humanity's defenders. In the heat of battle, friend could too easily be mistaken for foe, and alliances forged in the fires of war proved fragile and fleeting. It was a testament to the insidious nature of betrayal, as even the strongest bonds of camaraderie and solidarity were tested to their breaking point. But amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, there were those who rose above the shadows of treachery, their actions serving as a beacon of hope in the darkness. They were the heroes of the war, the ones who remained steadfast in their commitment to the cause even as others faltered and fell. Their courage and sacrifice inspired others to stand firm in the face of adversity, reminding us all that the spirit of humanity could never be extinguished. And though the scars of betrayal would linger long after the war had ended, they served as a stark reminder of the true cost of conflict. For every act of treachery, there were countless acts of bravery and selflessness that went unrecognized, their sacrifices overshadowed by the shadows of betrayal. But in the end, it was the unwavering resolve of humanity's defenders that would carry us through to victory, proving that even in the darkest hour, the light of hope could never be extinguished. Redemption. Amidst the chaos and despair of war, there were those who had strayed from the path of honor, succumbing to the temptations of treachery and betrayal. But even in the darkest of times, redemption was possible for those willing to seize it, to cast aside their past transgressions and stand shoulder to shoulder with their fellow humans in the fight against the alien invaders. For some, redemption came in the form of a moment of clarity, a realization of the true cost of their actions and the damage they had wrought upon their own kind. It was a moment of reckoning, as they looked upon the devastation wrought by the alien invaders and saw themselves reflected in the shattered lives of their fellow humans. It was in that moment that they knew they could no longer stand idly by, that they must take a stand and fight for the redemption they so desperately sought. For others, redemption came through acts of courage and selflessness, deeds that spoke louder than words and proved their commitment to the cause of freedom and justice. They risked their lives on the front lines of battle, facing down the alien invaders with unwavering resolve and determination. They fought not for glory or recognition, but for the chance to make amends for their past sins and earn the forgiveness of those they had wronged. But for all who sought redemption, the path was fraught with obstacles and challenges. Forgiveness was not easily earned, and trust was a fragile thing in a world torn apart by war. Yet, for those who truly committed themselves to the cause, redemption was always within reach. It was a journey of self-discovery and growth as they learned to confront their own demons and strive to become better than they once were. And as the war raged on, and victory seemed within reach, those who had once strayed from the path of honor found themselves faced with a choice: to continue down the dark road of treachery and betrayal, or to embrace the light of redemption and stand as true defenders of humanity. Some chose the former, clinging to their past sins even as the world crumbled around them. But for others, the choice was clear. They turned their backs on their former allies and joined the fight against the alien invaders, determined to make amends for their past mistakes and earn the forgiveness of those they had wronged. In the end, redemption was not a destination, but a journey of self-discovery and growth, of confronting one's own demons and striving to become better than one once was. It was a journey that required courage, determination, and above all, a willingness to face the consequences of one's actions and make amends for the harm they had caused. But for those who embarked upon that journey, the rewards were immeasurable. They found acceptance and forgiveness among their fellow humans, and a sense of purpose that transcended the darkness of their past. And though the scars of war would never fully heal, they found solace in the knowledge that they had redeemed themselves in the eyes of their fellow humans and earned a place among the true heroes of the war against the alien invaders. Triumph. As the war against the alien invaders reached its climax, humanity stood on the brink of victory, a victory that had been hard-won through sacrifice, courage, and unwavering determination. In a climactic battle that would be remembered for generations to come, humanity dealt the final blow to the alien invaders, shattering their forces and sending their once mighty empire crumbling into dust. It was a moment of triumph unlike any other, as the skies above Earth erupted in a blaze of fire and light. Ships clashed in a chaotic dance of destruction, as humanity's warriors fought with a ferocity born of desperation and defiance. In the heart of the battle, heroes emerged, their deeds destined to be immortalized in the annals of history as symbols of humanity's indomitable spirit. And then, in a flash of blinding light, it was over. The alien invaders, their forces shattered and their empire in ruins, retreated from Earth in defeat, their dreams of conquest shattered by the resilience of humanity. It was a moment of catharsis as the people of Earth emerged from the shadows of war to celebrate their hard-won victory. But even as the cheers of triumph rang out across the globe, the scars of war would linger for generations to come. Cities lay in ruins, their once proud skyscrapers reduced to rubble and ash. Millions had perished in the conflict, their lives cut short by the merciless advance of the alien invaders. And though the immediate threat had been vanquished, the specter of war would continue to haunt humanity for years to come. Yet amidst the devastation and despair, there was hope, a beacon of light shining in the darkness, guiding humanity toward a brighter future. For though the scars of war would never fully heal, they served as a reminder of the resilience and strength of the human spirit. In the aftermath of the conflict, nations came together to rebuild and heal, united by a common purpose and a shared determination to ensure that the horrors of war would never again be visited upon the people of Earth. And as humanity looked to the future, we did so with a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. The triumph over the alien invaders served as a testament to the power of unity and solidarity in the face of adversity, and a reminder that no matter the challenges we face, we are strongest when we stand together. But perhaps the greatest triumph of all was the knowledge that humanity had emerged from the crucible of war stronger and more resilient than ever before. We had faced our darkest hour and emerged victorious, proving to ourselves and to the universe that we were a force to be reckoned with, a species capable of overcoming even the greatest of challenges. And so, as the scars of war began to heal, and the people of Earth looked to the future with hope and optimism, they did so knowing that they had achieved something truly remarkable. Humanity had won, not just a battle, but a war for the very survival of our species. And though the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, one thing was certain. As long as there were those willing to fight for freedom and justice, humanity would continue to triumph against whatever challenges the future might hold. Rebuilding. With the dust settling after the climactic victory against the alien invaders, humanity turned its attention to the daunting task of rebuilding. Across the globe, cities lay in ruins, their once bustling streets now empty and silent, a stark reminder of the devastation wrought by years of conflict. But amidst the rubble and debris, there was a sense of hope, a determination to rise from the ashes and rebuild a future worth fighting for. In the aftermath of the war, nations came together in a spirit of cooperation and solidarity, pooling their resources and expertise to aid in the reconstruction efforts. Engineers and architects worked tirelessly to design and construct new buildings, while laborers toiled day and night to clear away the wreckage of the past and lay the foundations for a brighter tomorrow. But the task of rebuilding was not just physical, it was also emotional and psychological. For many, the scars of war ran deep, their lives forever altered by the horrors they had witnessed and the losses they had suffered. As they struggled to come to terms with the trauma of the past, counselors and therapists offered support and guidance, helping them to heal and rebuild their shattered lives. Yet, amidst the challenges of rebuilding, there was also a sense of resilience and determination, a refusal to be defeated by the trials of the past. Communities banded together, supporting one another through the darkest of times and working hand in hand to create a future filled with hope and promise. It was a testament to the strength of the human spirit, as people from all walks of life came together to rebuild their homes, their cities, and their lives. And as the months turned into years, the scars of war began to fade, replaced by the vibrant energy of a world reborn. New buildings rose from the ashes, their gleaming towers a testament to humanity's resilience and determination. Parks and gardens flourished once more, filling the air with the sweet scent of flowers and the laughter of children playing. But amidst the signs of progress, the memory of the war remained, a somber reminder of the cost of freedom. Memorials and monuments were erected to honor the fallen, their names etched in stone as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the name of peace. And though the wounds of the past would never fully heal, they served as a reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Yet, amidst the challenges of rebuilding, there was also a sense of optimism, a belief that from the ashes of war, a new world could be born. As communities came together to rebuild their homes and their lives, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. They knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but they also knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any obstacle. And so, as humanity looked to the future with hope and optimism, they did so knowing that they had emerged from the crucible of war stronger and more resilient than ever before. The scars of the past served as a reminder of the cost of freedom, but they also served as a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a spirit that would continue to endure, no matter what challenges the future might hold. Unity. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, a new dawn emerged for humanity, a dawn illuminated by the light of unity and solidarity. For in the crucible of war, where once there had been division and strife, there arose a spirit of cooperation and collaboration unlike any the world had ever seen. Nations, once divided by centuries-old grievances and rivalries, set aside their differences and came together in a spirit of shared purpose and mutual respect. Bound by the common experience of war and the desire to rebuild a better future, they worked hand in hand to address the challenges facing humanity in the aftermath of the conflict. It was a remarkable transformation, one born from the fires of conflict and tempered by the shared hardships endured during the war. As the world emerged from the ashes of destruction, there arose a renewed sense of camaraderie and fellowship among nations as they forged bonds of friendship and cooperation that would endure for generations to come. At the heart of this newfound unity was a recognition of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth, a realization that the challenges facing humanity could only be overcome through collective action and collaboration. From the devastation of war to the looming specter of climate change and environmental degradation, nations came together to address the pressing issues of our time, pooling their resources and expertise to find solutions that would benefit all. But perhaps the greatest manifestation of humanity's unity was the creation of new international institutions and alliances dedicated to promoting peace, prosperity, and cooperation among nations. From the United Nations to the World Health Organization, these organizations served as a testament to humanity's commitment to building a better world, one founded on the principles of justice, equality, and respect for all. Yet, for all the progress that had been made, the road to unity was not without its challenges. Old prejudices and animosities died hard, and there were those who sought to sow division and discord in the wake of the war. But in the face of such obstacles, humanity stood firm, refusing to be swayed by the voices of hatred and intolerance. Instead, we embraced the diversity of our world, recognizing that it was our differences that made us strong. We celebrated the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions that made up the human family. And we worked together to build a future where every individual had the opportunity to thrive and succeed. And as the years passed and the wounds of war began to heal, the spirit of unity and solidarity that had emerged in the aftermath of the conflict continued to flourish. From the halls of power to the streets of every city and town, people came together to celebrate their shared humanity and to reaffirm their commitment to building a world where peace and prosperity were the birthright of all. For in the end, it was this spirit of unity that served as humanity's greatest strength, a beacon of hope in a world too often consumed by division and strife. And though the challenges that lay ahead would be many, as long as we stood united, there was nothing that we could not overcome. Legacy. As the dust settled and the world began to rebuild in the aftermath of the war against the alien invaders, humanity reflected on the profound changes wrought by the conflict. The scars of battle still marred the landscape, but amidst the ruins there emerged a newfound sense of pride and resilience, a legacy born from the fires of war that would endure for generations to come. For in the crucible of conflict, humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious. We had proven to ourselves and to the universe that we would not be conquered, that we would always fight back against oppression, no matter the cost. Our victory would be remembered as a defining moment in the history of our species, a testament to the indomitable spirit of mankind. But the legacy of the war went far beyond mere victory on the battlefield. It was a legacy of courage and sacrifice, of ordinary people rising up to confront extraordinary challenges and emerging triumphant. It was a legacy of unity and solidarity, of nations setting aside their differences and coming together in pursuit of a common goal. And perhaps most importantly, it was a legacy of hope, a belief that no matter how dark the night, the dawn would always come, bringing with it the promise of a better tomorrow. In the years that followed the war, monuments and memorials were erected to honor the fallen, their names etched in stone as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the name of freedom. But the true legacy of the conflict lay not in the marble and granite of these monuments, but in the hearts and minds of those who had lived through it, the survivors who had witnessed firsthand the horrors of war and emerged stronger and more determined than ever before. For them, the legacy of the war was one of resilience and perseverance, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, humanity had the capacity to endure and overcome. It was a legacy that would shape their lives and the lives of generations to come, inspiring them to strive for a better world and to never lose sight of the values that had guided them through the darkest of times. But perhaps the greatest legacy of all was the knowledge that came from the war, that no matter how powerful our enemies may be, no matter how insurmountable the odds, humanity would always find a way to prevail. It was a lesson learned through hardship and sacrifice, but one that would serve as a beacon of hope in the uncertain years that lay ahead. And so, as humanity looked to the future with hope and optimism, we did so knowing that the legacy of the war against the alien invaders would endure for generations to come. It would be a legacy of courage and resilience, of unity and solidarity, and above all, of the indomitable spirit of mankind, a spirit that would continue to guide us through the challenges of the future, no matter what may come our way.